Hi, it's Jenika with Jenika's Journals, and I'm back to talk about leather. So I have several samples as well as a new leather that I'm adding to my shop, and I just want to chit chat about it. I've kind of been doing a little bit of teasing on Instagram, which isn't meant, I am not meaning to tease, and I'm not meaning to like build it up by any means. I'm just simply sharing because I'm excited. I was excited to see this leather as an offering from one of the suppliers that I buy from. I don't think it's a new leather from the tannery. I don't know, maybe it is, but I don't think it is. But I just think it was a new offering from the supplier that I buy this leather from. And I saw it listed online and I got really excited about it and knew that I would be starting a new journal soon. So I wanted to try the cover out on my journal so I would know, since it's a brand new leather, like totally different than anything I've ever had. I wanted to see how it stood the test of time, I guess. So here it is. And I have had such a crazy life, as I mean we all do. But I've been sewing like crazy. I've hesitated making YouTube videos because of these hands of mine. So I cut my finger, like really cut my finger when I was cutting a leather cover, I sliced the end of my finger off. And I do mean it's not like bad. It's just a little bitty divot, but it hurts. And it's like, I need these fingers to sew with. So it's been a challenge. And then I've been in the garden, so I have like the stained hands that I am kind of embarrassed about, but honestly, I am not a person who has a curated for YouTube or any other kind of media life. I'm just a regular person and I love to garden and be outside. I work with my hands a lot. This craft requires a lot of movement with my hands. I don't have the prettiest hands. So I have a little bit of, I don't know, angst with showing my hands, but here they are. So please be kind, I guess. Anyway, this leather, back to leather. Okay. So this leather is called Arnia, A-R-N-I-A, and it's from the tannery Badalassi Carlo in Italy. And I have had other leathers that are cousins to this. So my terminology, and it is mine alone, it is not professional or industry standard, but my terminology with leathers is when I have a leather that is related, meaning that they come from the same tannery, but they aren't the same type of leather, I will call them cousins. So, for instance, Pueblo, also by Badalassi Carlo, is a cousin to Arnia. Same with Pebbled, Minerva Box. And so that's kind of how I keep it straight in my head. But then if I have, like, these are all 4 Pueblo samples. So same tannery. These are all the same type of leather, so the same process of tanning them, just different colors. I call these siblings. So these are brothers and sisters, okay? So keeping that straight, Arnia is a cousin to Pueblo, is also a cousin to Minerva Box, all the same tannery, Badalassi Carlo. So I've been, using these Pueblos. I haven't had these colors. This is olive, this is Bordeaux, yellow, and navy. And aren't these just beautiful? I would love to get all of these in eventually. So these are Pueblos. But I saw the Arnia and Arnia, whatever. Anyway, I saw them offered and I got very, very excited. So I got a couple of samples, plus I ordered some as well. And when I got it, there were 3 colors. And I ordered the 2 samples and then the color in the other offering, so the other sibling. And this and the one that I bought looked so similar that I knew there must have been a mix-up. So I contacted the supplier. We had a little chit-chat through I sent them pictures, and they said, yeah, I think you do have the wrong kind. And I said, well, it's okay. I want to keep it because I love it. I mean, I don't mean wrong kind. I mean wrong color. I want to keep it. I love it, but I'll order the other. And then I got the other and it looked exactly the same to me. So I think I flushed it out. The colors of the 2 browns are so muted and so subtle, or at least I thought they were. I'll show you here. This is black. I'll probably eventually get this. This is a very nice black. Okay, so the leather is soft and supple. I will describe it from the tannery. It is a vegetable tanned leather from Badalassi Carlo tannery in Tuscany, Italy. They are known for their traditional methods of vegetable tanning with tree barks that go back hundreds of years. Badalassi Carlo is a member of the exclusive something, I don't know what this is, consortium of some sort, of vegetable tanning, certifying that they tan leather using strict traditional vegetable methods. Vegetable. They spelled that wrong. Okay. Anyway, Arnia is a milled pebble grain with a super matte. Okay, I want to highlight that. Super matte. We'll go back to that. Almost nubuck grain. This leather is infused with a special blend of animal fats and waxes, giving a softer hand than traditional Veg-Tan. Top grade, full grain, supple feel with a small amount of firmness. The leather has a beautiful pebbled grain, which I'll also get into, with a depth to the leather color. I definitely agree with that as well. It will have amazing patina as it ages. The leather is dyed completely through and has a nice, soft flesh side. Has a great feel in the hand and is easy to cut. I mean, that's from the supplier, and it is easy to cut, and it's easy to stamp, and it's easy to punch, and it's easy to sew. Those are all big things for me. So I made this one this is an A5 extra width housing. Yes. Am I saying that right? It houses my Lloydstrom 411. And I have used it for, let's see, when I started this, I want to say, it's like the beginning of April. Yeah, beginning of April. It's now the beginning of May. So I've used it for a month, and it does, I'm going to try and capture that little glint. Now, this is something that I got on the leather, as well as that. And it creates this sort of a little bit of shine. So I actually got something on this, and I thought, oh, great, that's real nice. That looks awful. But it seemed like it didn't stay looking like that for very long. It's almost like whatever it was that I got on it, oil maybe, I'm not sure, oil, or maybe it was a little bit of food. Who knows? It's sort of like I cleaned it off with a dry cloth. I kind of rubbed at it and got that out, whatever it was. And then it sort of just kind of faded over time. So I think that, I mean, yeah, you can see it. It's obvious on there, but it's not obvious that I put it there, especially when you see the other pieces of leather that I'm going to show you. It's not obvious that it's something that I did to it, I guess. Here's the back. So the back of it gets a lot more kind of, not used necessarily, but it gets banged around a lot more. There's some denting from something maybe in my bag, but definitely some serious patina on this guy from 1 month. I can't imagine what this is going to look like after 6. The inside, this is a very, I think I showed this on Instagram. This is a very smooth piece of the leather. And then this one has more depth. So when I read about having a depth of color, I definitely agree to that, because these pebblings have different color to them. Like the top of the pebble is a darker and the under part of the pebble is a lighter color. So it just does, depth of color is definitely a good way of describing it. It does have a nice supple feel. And when I say that, or when they say that it has a, what was it? Super matte, definitely super matte. So Pueblo also has a matte to it. This, compared to the matte feel of the Pueblo leather, this has a little bit of tooth to it, which over time, that tooth takes on the oils from your hands, as well as some waxes and oils come to the surface of the leather, and it gets kind of a shiny, smoother feel to it as far as the patina on the Pueblo. This automatically feels softer. Really, really soft. Super matte. But again, it takes on a little bit of gloss when something gets on it and when you use it. Very similar in that regard to the Pueblo, but honestly, these leathers are totally different. So Pueblo has a thicker, stiffer firmness of temper, where the Arnia is definitely softer. There's a little bit of pull up when I bend it. You can see that lighter color come up. Let's see. Okay, I guess I can show you the temper of it here. So very supple. I have made a listing in Etsy. I'm going to show you the first one that I made for my Etsy shop. I'm going to take pictures of it and get it listed today. Today is May 7th. I am going to get it listed today, and I asked that please no strings. So no strings on the spine. It's going to pull a lot. And I think for the most part, people understand that, but some don't, especially when I have it as an offering. I have it as an offering to add strings. So, you know, if you're not familiar with leathers or familiar with your preferences, you might be surprised at how the strings will pull at the spine. And I know that it doesn't bother some, but it bothers a lot of people. So just to kind of prevent that from being an issue, I really, just like with just like with turmeric, I dissuade that as an option. The tempers of the two leather are not anything like each other, but they are softer leathers, and that's the reason why I mentioned that. Okay, so as far as color, oh, I wanted to show the nap of this leather because it did talk about the smooth nap. So yeah, wow, it's beautiful. I mean, we don't really see much of this in our leather covers, but this is a nice feel. Okay, now I made one. I always have to make a cover that I'm willing to take pictures of and put in my shop so that you can see what it looks like. I did try to take a picture in a video of leather one time and list it, and I just don't feel like it gave the right vibe, what I was going for, as far as, because you can't see it and touch it and hold it in your hands before you make a purchase. I want to try and convey what the final product is going to look like as much as possible. So I put this together. This is a moleskine expanded, and inside of it is a moleskine expanded. I'm going to go ahead and put the front cover in here. Give this a nice hug. And now I'm going to show you a little bit of the color differences. So I honestly had a lot of trouble in distinguishing the two different browns that are offered. One is more of a chestnut color, and the other one is, it has more yellow, I guess. The chestnut seems like it has a little bit more orange, and then the other has a little bit more yellow, and I'll show you that on this side. You can see that. I hope you can see that. Where this is lighter brown, this is more chestnutty brown. So I honestly, I'll be completely transparent here. When I look at the big piece of leather, it is almost impossible to distinguish between the two. But when I have these smaller pieces, as I sit down to make this video, I see, oh, well, there's an obvious difference in the two. That hasn't been so obvious until just a few moments ago. As you can see, I think, and I don't even know, but I think I have a pocket on here that is actually this chestnut color. So it is what it is. This one will be listed at this shop. It's still very pretty. It has a unique look to it. This has pebbling, sort of uniform pebbling throughout the whole back of it. And then the pocket is quite smooth. This is a raw edge pocket. This leather has beautiful raw edge pieces. Very simple. Not a lot of dips and different angles that makes it hard to get a nice looking raw edge pocket. This one has very uniform. This is just very classy, and the whole hide is like that. So I don't know what names I'm going to use. Arnia in Italian means hive, like beehive. So I don't know. I was just going to keep it Arnia, but now that I have kind of fleshed out the two different colors, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'd like it to be Arnia honey, because honey hive, and this has a real nice honey vibe to it, honey color vibe, but I already have a honey and I will just end up getting confused. So what I'm going to do now is show you the whole pieces. So, and I have to stand up, I think. So I'm not going to be able to accept very much in terms of your requests for variations. A lot of times I encourage you to tell me what your request for, like pebbles or smooth or whatever. I do encourage that, but with this particular leather, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to follow through because there is so much variety in all of it. So you can see this deep pebbling here, but then right next to it is this smooth area. And as we get over into it, along the edges, it's a lot smoother. There's a couple areas that have pretty significant markings, and then other areas that are pretty smooth. There's some wrinkles in here. I'll grab another piece. Now this is a pocket piece, so when I do raw edges, they come from this edge, which is, the edge seems like it's a lot more smooth than the rest of the hide. So when I made this one for myself, I wanted to put a pocket on the front of it, but I didn't want to cover all this pretty color. So I opted to not. And that's what's going to happen. I'm going to get a lot of pebbling, and then it's going to be covered by a smoother pocket, which is a possibility. And then look at the variation in this piece. They just don't even look like the same leather types almost. I absolutely love it. Okay, so this leather will be listed by the time this YouTube video is uploaded. And I will have a limited quantity, but it'll be a leather that I'll be able to get a hold of pretty quickly, so I can restock it. After a little bit of consideration, I don't believe I'm going to differentiate the different colors of brown. I think it's way too stressful for me, and they are so similar. I know when I turned the back of those books over, it looked really obvious, but when you lay the leather next to each other, there's nothing obvious about it. So even when I look at the flesh side and I look at the top part of it, it's so incredibly similar. And I think perhaps the reason why I see the differences so stark when I'm looking at them next to each other here is because this one has patina and this one doesn't. I think that's what I'm seeing here. And I don't mean to sound wishy-washy or whatever. It's just a lot of, this is hard. Again, the supplier sent them to me wrong. So I think there's just a lot of similarities. So anyway, I'm just going to keep, if you don't like variation and you don't like patina and you don't like surprises and you don't like a whole lot of character, you like there to be more uniform color and uniform texture, this is not the leather for you. So if little subtle differences in color don't bother you, then this leather may be great for you. But again, I think there's a patina issue here, and I just can't explain it any other way. It's blowing my mind and it's stressing me out. And I know that if I try to differentiate these two colors that I don't even have like categorized in my own mind, that I'm really gonna go crazy. So this is Arnia and it will be available today. I wanted to show a little extra something I've been working on. So I've been trying to sort of come up with a better logo or branding or whatever for myself. And I asked a couple Etsy shops to, like, graphic designers, and it was kind of a disaster. I mean, it wasn't a disaster. I just didn't like either one of them. So I went to the drawing board myself and just used Canva and came up with this little sticker, Jenika's Journals and Leathercraft, Making Clothes for Books. And I'm going to try and include these in on orders. And I think they're just kind of cute and fun. So look for those if that interests you at all. I hope that I can keep up with this. And I think that's it as far as news goes. I have a couple pens I want to share, and I'll do that on another video.